Denver Broncos just played probably one of the most ridiculous games I think I've ever seen. I mean that seriously. I mean, listen, we can chalk that up to it being like a weird international game and whatnot, but that game was bizarre for all the wrong reasons. I mean, the score was 13-11, okay? And Justin Fields was 9 for 17 for 45 yards, 2.6 yards per attempt, and 9 sacks. And the score was 13-11. 9 for 17, 45 yards, 2.6 yards per attempt, 9 sacks for 55 yards lost. He had -10 total yards. And they only rushed for 92 yards total. And the score was 13-11. This game should have been an absolute blowout. But the Broncos, on the other hand, they couldn't run. They had 26 carries, 78 yards, 3 yards per carry. But really, 24 of those yards came from Bo Nix. So they were well under 3 yards per carry. They just could not run the ball. Bo Nix was obviously 19 for 30, 174 yards, 5.8 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown. I mean, you look at a game like this, and these are one of those games. This is this type of game that actually drives me nuts. When one team is clearly dominating the other team, and the score is close. It's one of those stereotypical, like, wow, if you're the New York Jets and you're going into halftime and you're only down by 3, you got to feel pretty good considering how this first half unfolded. And I forget exactly what the score was at half, but we always hear those sound bites from the commentators a million times, like, wow, at one point the New York Jets had like 0 first downs with like only like a few minutes going into the to the end of the half. I mean, gifted them a field goal, gifted them 2 field goals really, with the 1 fumble and the special teams, and then there was a handful of couple big plays for the Broncos, but then it was waved off with the penalties, and then of course the safety. I mean, listen, we can say, well, the Broncos defense stepped up, this or that. Listen, that's part of it to a degree. The Jets are also just awful. I think the Broncos are a great team. Been pumping them up all summer, all year long. But the Jets aren't like, we're so good, that's why we kept Justin Fields to 45 yards. Like, no. They're just exceptionally bad. Even that final drive, like, there were plays for them to make, but then Justin Fields, is late to the ball, throws it behind, whatever it was. Because I was like, yeah, that was a great hit by Hufanga, and we can, like, credit Hufanga, and it was, but it was also just terrible football by the New York Jets. The 4th down sack, I mean, like, I don't know, at that point, just go for a really long field goal. I mean, like, their weird thing of not even trying to, like, not even doing a Hail Mary at the end of the first half with 30 seconds left. Like, there was just bizarre, honestly. Just bizarre. The 1 turnover was unfortunate. I don't think that was anything exceptional by the New York Jets for the fumble. I mean, it was such a beautiful scramble throw by Bo. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is the way how this game's going to go, right? Like, Bo's just going to be able to do whatever he wants. The Broncos are going to be able to do whatever they want offensively. And that was not the case. Even the 1 touchdown was awesome, and it was set up so beautifully. Kurt Warner really, did a great job of explaining how it was like all these short passes to then set up this pass. And it was like just a wide open touchdown. And you're like, yes, perfect, beautiful. This game's going to be so easy. And then even when they didn't go for it on 4th down the 1 time and kick the field goal, I was like, okay, that's smart. You're not being overtly aggressive. You're not doing too much. Then when it was obvious that the Jets defense is just awful, you then say, okay, it's 4th and 5 or 4th and 4. And they're like, all right, we'll go for it here. We're comfortable with this, which totally makes sense because you're watching this game and thinking the Jets won't be able to do anything offensively, and they couldn't. But then the Broncos couldn't do anything offensively, and you're just like, oh man. What is happening here? And I really think so much of it was struggling to just run, to get really any type of true positive yardage in the run game. I mean, it was just negative or nothing, just play after play after play. it is kind of crazy that they can't really reliably get this run game going. Going on the second year now, and you would expect it to be better. And Bo Nix, he was using his legs great today. I really liked some of the plays that he was doing with his legs, but it also feels like it could be done in a more devastating way. In a way that also sets up some big plays, not unlike that touchdown drive with the short passes. That there's just could be a more reliable way to use Bo's legs to really expand the offense, to really set up other big plays, whether it be big runs, big throws. I'm not Sean Payton, but like you just would expect more than that. I would expect more than that. But yeah, Cortland Sutton, 1 reception on 3 targets, 17 yards. I mean, we can credit the defense for the New York Jets, which is fine. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm going to hold the Denver Broncos accountable. I expect better from them. I expect this was a game that they technically could have lost. And if the Jets were even just remotely competent, if Justin Fields was just 1% better of a quarterback, the Broncos lose this game. That's the reality. It just is. And you can't put yourself in that situation. You're 4-2. You're trying to graduate this level of play, right? You're here to graduate from having any of these weird fluky games. And again, those games can always happen, but not at this point, right? Not when you're building something, not when you're actually building momentum, not after you just beat the Philadelphia Eagles, their first loss at the time, right? Like big momentum. And again, I know you're now going to London and whatnot. I get that. I do. But I don't know. At this point, lots of teams are going international now. Like I don't know if that can really necessarily be some sort of explanation. Yeah. I just, like I said, I'm still sitting processing what I just saw, and it's just these morning games. That's the problem too, because I'm watching it in the morning. I'm like, I'm still just waking up, and I'm just like, taking my notes. And again, so many of my notes don't even really seem like it matters, because a lot of times I write all these situational notes, like, oh, that was a big third down, or oh, great stop here, great, and then there. But then sometimes I take all those notes, and then the way how the game ends, like 13-11, and I'm just like, honestly, like none of those other stuff really seems to matter to me at this point, because it was just like, I'm really, like, this is just my immediate instant reaction. I'm just like, what did I just watch? You held them to 2 for 15 on third down. Justin Fields throws for 45 yards and 9 sacks, and the score is 13-11. I mean, like, that to me is, they had -10 in the passing game. For the Jets, I mean, I don't know, man. This score should have been 42-3. I mean, seriously, I'll give them a fluke field goal or something, but like that's what this score should have been. Really, that's really what it should have been, and it wasn't. And you get away with it, but when you have big expectations for a team, you really got to be extra hard on them in these types of moments, because you just can't get away with it here. I mean, they had 3 field goals and a safety. 2 of those field goals were absolutely gifted by the Broncos. That's 6 points. And then the holding. So that's 8 points. I mean, I'm fascinated to see what people have to say about this game. I can't remember a game like this in a while. I mean, like, how did you guys feel watching this game? Like, what were your thoughts during it? Especially for those of you who are in Denver, it was even earlier. So, like, I'm just curious. Like, what were your thoughts watching this game? I mean, this game shouldn't have been even close, and yet they could have lost. Like I said, all you did is just need one nice play by Justin Fields, one nice throw, one breakout run, one 20-yard run, whatever it is, and you lose that game. Like, that's all I'm trying to emphasize. And it just shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. This Broncos team should be good enough to not have anything remotely happen like this. So I'm sticking to that take right now. And unless someone else gives me a better reason to believe otherwise, I'm still processing what the heck I just saw. That's just me. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours, truly. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos in a just all-out battle of the ages, 13-11, taking down the New York Jets? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.